Hi, have you noticed a drop in milk supply, or are you looking for tips to boost your milk supply? I'm glad that you found this video because I am going to share 5 tips to increasing milk supply. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Jeanette. I'm a lactation consultant, IBCOC, a registered nurse, and the founder of Prenatal Genie. Feel free to look around the channel for more helpful videos and consider subscribing for new videos every week. So before I go into the 5 tips, I want to cover some basics. Basic number 1, if you are currently producing at least 1 to 1.5 ounce of milk per hour, you are producing enough milk for your baby. Basic number 2, we need to get to the root of the problem. We need to get to the root of why there's a decrease in milk production. Is it related to maternal health? Is it related to the lack of milk removal? So those are things we need to find out in order to better support you. So this is why it's so important to work with an IBCOC to get individualized care. Just know that most health insurance companies in the United States will cover up to 6 visits with a lactation consultant. Basic number 3, we want to make sure that you're not trying everything that you see online. We want to try things that are specific to the root of the problem. Okay, so that's why it's important, again, to work with an IBCOC. So let's start now with the tips. Tip number 1, taking care of mom. This is imperative in order to increase milk production. We need to make sure that mom is resting when possible. That afternoon nap really makes a difference when you're trying to increase milk production. We want to make sure that you are eating enough healthy calories during the day. We want to make sure that you drinking to thirst. Okay, whenever you're thirsty, you just drink to thirst, and that you're getting fresh air, that you're getting some sunlight. These things these are the base. It's the base of you increasing milk production. Tip number 2 to increasing milk production is ensuring optimal breastfeeding. We need to make sure that latch and positioning is optimal in order to help baby remove milk. Okay, we need to make sure baby has enough breast tissue in the mouth. We want to make sure that chin is touching the breast, that there's some neck extension, head tilt, and we also need to make sure that baby's tongue is working properly in order to remove milk. So if you need help or you think that baby is not achieving those things, please reach out to an IBCOC. Tip number 3, pumping. You could increase milk production with pumping. Let's say that breastfeeding is not optimal, and while you're working on breastfeeding, getting breastfeeding better, you could pump to increase milk production and save your milk supply. So when you're breastfeeding, you want to pump right after you breastfeed your baby for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, before you pump, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have the right pump for your needs, that your phalange size are correct for you, and that you replacing your parts as needed. Okay, before you pump, you want to make sure that you're massaging the breast for like 30-60 seconds, and you could cup both breasts, lean forward, give it a shake, okay, and then pump for 10-15 minutes. And also, while you're pumping, you could incorporate your hands for breast compressions to help remove more milk. Okay, so you're just going to compress different areas of the breast to increase milk removal. Also, you want to make sure that you're familiar with your pumping settings. Okay, you want to make sure that you know how to go back in between the massage mode and let down mode, so you could promote multiple let downs in a pumping session. Some moms don't react the same to a pump than a baby, so that is something that you need to assess. Okay. Another thing with pumping, let's say you are exclusively pumping, then you want to increase sessions. You want to add more sessions to your pumping routine to increase milk production. Another thing that you could do to increase milk production with pumping is hand expressing for about 2 minutes each side at the end of your pumping session. That will ensure more milk removal, and then your body will produce more. Remember, the more milk you remove, the more milk your body will produce. So incorporating massage, breast compressions, and hand expression at the end will really help remove more milk. And I always recommend pumping, after breastfeeding if you're breastfeeding, and then if you're exclusively pumping, then adding more sessions to your pumping routine. Something I want to point out is that you don't have to have oversupply to produce enough milk for your baby. Oversupply is not normal, okay? So I just want you to remember that. Tip number 4 to increasing milk production is keeping your baby close, doing a lot of skin to skin when possible, wearing your baby, carrying your baby. When you're pumping, having your baby close by if possible, and pumping while baby is feeding. Like while baby is getting, is feeding, that's the best time to pump. So always keep that in mind. Tip number 5 to increasing milk production is using herbal supplements. So you need to be sure that you're using the correct herbal supplement for your needs based on your health history and based on the root of the problem, okay, of what's causing low milk supply. Okay, so one that I feel that has worked well with many moms is moringa, which is a green leafy vegetable that supports lactation. You want to be careful with fenugreek because fenugreek could have the opposite impact for some moms, especially if mom has thyroid dysfunction. So just be careful with fenugreek, okay? It could work well for you, but it may not. So you want to make sure that you work with someone that is familiar with herbal supplements and that we go by your medical history. Is very important because no two moms are the same, okay? So these are my 5 tips to increasing milk production. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. So just remember to be kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.